A pristine box-fresh Hermès Birkin resells in Britain for over £20,000. Brand new from the boutique. If you can actually buy one, it costs just over £8,000. The second-hand bag is worth more than double the new one. That is not a misprint, it is not inflation. It is the single clearest signal in the entire second-hand market. And once you understand why this happens, you start seeing it everywhere. In the prices, in the waiting lists, in the maths. Here is the obvious assumption. The bags that hold their value must be the best made ones. The finest leather, the tightest stitching. It sounds right. The data says it is almost completely wrong. This is built on the Worthmore dataset, thousands of researched second-hand prices from the UK market. So we can ask a blunt question. Of every pound a bag costs new, how much does it keep years later? Start at the bottom. A Longchamp Le Priage retails around £125. In good condition, listings sit nearer £29. It has kept just 23% of its price a few years on. A Coach Tabby retails around £475 and lists near £140. A Gucci Vermont, over £2,000, lists around £600. Both keep roughly 29%. Climb higher and it barely improves. A Louis Vuitton Neverfull, around £2,000, near £776. A Mulberry Bayswater keeps about 41%. A Saint Laurent Lulu, 39%. These are beautifully made bags from famous houses, sold on Vinted and Vestiaire every single day, and every one of them sheds 60 to 70% of its price. If quality were the answer, the ranking would be scrambled. It is not. Something else is driving it. Now watch what happens at the very top. Chanel and Hermès do not sit a little above the pack, they sit in a different world entirely, and the reason is not the leather. Take the Chanel Classic Flap. In 2019, it retailed for around $5,800. By 2055, $11,300. The price nearly doubled in 6 years, a 95% rise. That is not a company chasing cost. That is a company deliberately walking its prices away from the customer. And in 2021, it went further. Chanel limited buyers to 1 bag per model per year. Hermès plays a harder version of the same game. Buyers are limited to 2 bags of the top designs a year, and a Birkin is not a thing you can simply choose to buy, even with the money ready in your hand. In 2024, a California lawsuit alleged that Hermès expects customers to build a history of buying other goods first, scarves, homeware, jewelry, before they are ever offered the bag they came for. And supply is capped at source. Each Hermès bag takes roughly 16 hours of work by a single artisan. The company only grows as fast as it can train them. Around 24 leather workshops by 2025. Prices that climb every year. A supply chain that physically cannot speed up. This is not luxury as a product, this is scarcity, engineered on purpose, and the resale market is the receipt. Because when supply is strangled that tightly, the second-hand market becomes the only open door. People will pay to walk through it, which is exactly how a used Birkin ends up worth more than a new one. Think about what a waiting list actually does. It takes people with the money, ready to spend, and tells them no. Every one of those buyers is pushed towards the only place that will say yes, the resale market. That demand has to land somewhere. The Worthmore dataset shows it cleanly. Across the whole collection, Hermès holds the highest median value of any brand in a good condition, around £4,250. Nothing else comes close. But the median only tells you the level. The real tell is resilience. When a bag drops from near new down to merely good condition, the scuffs, softening, honest wear, how much of its value actually survives the fall? This is where the two worlds split apart. An Hermès in good condition keeps around 67% of its like-new value. Chanel keeps around 73%. Age and wear barely touch them. For everyone else, condition is a cliff, not a slope. Even a Chanel Classic Flap in good condition lists near $3,900 against a UK retail of about $8,500. That is 46% kept on a bag that is neither new nor rare. Zoom out to the whole market and tiers separate hard. Group bags by the price bracket. In good condition, the luxury tier holds a median of around £365. The premium high street tier, £40. That is a 9-fold gap between two shelves in the same shop, and it holds even at the bottom. A luxury bag in genuinely poor condition still clears around £130. The average bag in the same state fetches £65. Look at the luxury condition ladder on its own. New with tags, around £730. Like new, £565. Good, £392. Fair, £246. Even poor holds £130. And that flaw is the whole point. Beaten up, out of shape, years old. A luxury bag still refuses to fall past a certain line. The rest of the market has no flaw at all. It just keeps sinking towards zero. And this flaw is exactly why resale platforms can price these bags with some confidence. On Vinted and Vestiaire, a luxury bag has a known landing point. The high street bag is a guess that usually rounds down to almost nothing. And this is not a niche. The global second-hand luxury market was worth around $40 billion in 2025 and is forecast to roughly double by 2034. The receipts are piling up fast. So here is the pattern the whole ranking hides. It's not the logo, it's not the leather. What the second-hand market actually pays for is scarcity, and only a handful of houses manufacture it deliberately. Everyone else is selling something that is merely expensive. Expensive fades. Engineered scarcity does not. And a used bag worth more than a new one is simply that machine working exactly as designed. This is market analysis, not buying advice, just what the numbers do. If you want to see where any bag lands on the ladder, the full lookup tool is linked below.